Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to One Piece, episodes 946 to 949. So I'll say right off the bat, I've been recording pretty much all day today. Because I'm recording this in advance on the same day that I recorded the Zack Snyder's Justice League reaction. So I've just been recording multiple hours of content. 4 hours total, technically, if you want to. I did take a break in the middle, but yeah. But yeah, so my throat's a little scratchy, so if I don't talk as much or if I am a little quieter, that would be why. Just letting you know ahead of time. So, that being said, last time we had basically only a couple things happen throughout the last 4 episodes. The escape from the Flower Capital after Toniyasu's death. We had Big Mom finally arriving at the prison, and the actions of which ended up allowing Luffy and Old Man Hio to become freed, thanks to Luffy using haki, using the Rio haki of Wano. Breaking out of the containment collar and everything. And yeah, a lot happened while so little happened at the same time. But Luffy is now about to protect Hio as kind of another little bit of training. Caribou is helping out. Everything's kind of going not according to plan, but also kind of working out anyway. It's complicated. We have Kinemon and them going with Ashura Doji. Hopefully he's going to end up joining their side again. We're presumably going to have the samurai, the Kappa samurai ended up being released. We did find out that Kamazo is Killer, which I already knew about. So yeah, we got quite a bit, and we're still going. And this is Act 2, and Act 2 ends. Where is it? I have it listed here. With 956. So we're about 10 episodes away at this moment without having started this reaction. We're about 10 episodes away from actually finishing out Act 2. So I'm just wondering what is going to happen in this final stretch, and how is this going to go big? Because I doubt we're going to have another fight with Kaido or anything. And for some reason, I doubt we're going to have any kind of big fight with Orochi at this point either, but maybe? We'll just have to kind of see right now. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm excited, though. I'm very much interested to see where this goes. And hopefully it goes well, especially with these 4 episodes. So yeah, we're just going to get this started, hope for the best, and enjoy the ride, as always. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back into the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, everything that follows, or after it fades to black and then fades back in, sorry, everything that follows will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we will begin with spoilers. In 3, 2, 1, now. Sorry, I'm getting really emotional here. But before anything else, there is one big thing I need to talk about. I know I wasn't even this emotional at the end, but I looked a couple things up without going into spoilers or anything. But and I even looked up one of my old videos because back on January 22nd, just about 2 months ago, I uploaded a video talking about my thoughts as a trans person on the Okama in One Piece. My thoughts on whether or not they were insulting, or just how I viewed them with the entire dialogue surrounding their portrayal and whatnot. Long story short, just to make it simple, I don't view them as offensive because they're not representative of being trans. They're more representative of cross dressers or even drag performers would be closer in terms of what they represent. And I talked about that in that video, how I was spoiled on the fact that in the Wano arc, there are two transgender characters. That Oda actually brought in like legitimate transgender representation in this arc. And I mentioned how I didn't know their names. I didn't really know what they looked like. I might have seen like art of them or pictures of them or whatever before, but just not knowing which characters they are. I just knew who they were. I just knew that they existed and that there was one trans male, one trans female, and both of them look what you would consider to be stereotypically feminine. That's all I knew pretty much. And the entire time, I never I never thought about who it could be because I wanted to wait until that was revealed. So I just never really thought about it. I never really like just went into these episodes like wondering, okay, who could it be? But we have at least one of them confirmed. Okiku, Kiku Nojo of the Fallen Snow, is a trans female. And it's very clear that everyone refers to her properly. Everyone sees her as female. Everyone treats her as female. She's referred to with the proper pronouns. And outside of that one line where it's like they found out who she was based on the mask, and Luffy's like, wait, you're really a male? And she's like, I'm a female at heart. And it's like, she's telling him, it's like, no, I know in my heart I'm a girl. And it's like, this is how other people see me. This is how some other people out there see me, but I know who I am. And it's just, it's so good. We met Okiku not long after we met Otsuru. She was working with her, and it noted a few things about her really early on when we got to know her. We learned quickly that she was a samurai, a very strong and skilled one, and we also were, it was brought to our attention multiple times that she's tall. And it's like, it still never clicked with me. It's like, I just thought she was this awesome tall lady who was really badass, but also funny and kind and cute and everything. And she is. That's the thing. She still is all of that. She is this awesome, badass, kind, cute, tall lady. But I get, and I just, even though I had been spoiled on the fact that there are trans characters in this arc, I just never even put forth the effort into thinking about it because again, I wanted to wait till it was revealed and everything, and so it's just, it never clicked for me that it was her. And it's like, as we've continued in this arc and we've gotten to know more about her, we've gotten to see her in action, we've gotten to see the heart she has and everything. I've liked her more and more. I've definitely grown a lot more attached to her than I honestly believed I would. I thought she was just going to be like another awesome female character, but one that who wouldn't have as much of an impact on me. Like I liked Utsuru more, admittedly partially because I really think Utsuru is super attractive, and I don't know, something about her just more quickly clicked with me. Like I more quickly just came to love her character, but I liked her more. And of course, like, I grew attached to Otama and Otoko as well. And it's just like Okiku, like I liked her. I very much liked her. And again, as it went along, I liked her more and more, but I liked her less than the others still. But as it started going along, I started liking her more so than them, at least more than Otsuru, because Okiku and Otama, or Otama and Otoko rather, still, like, I very, very much care for them as characters and really want to see them just happy and surviving and living the best lives they can once all of this is through. Um, but in terms of actual character, in terms of actual, like, depth to the character, I started liking Okiku more because they were focusing on her more. And it was made clear eventually that she was part of the Akazaya Nine, that she was part of the samurai who came from the past with Kinemon and all that. And so it's like I got so vastly more interested in her when that was revealed. And now there's this. And it's like, even before it was revealed, when she just brought out the mask, it's like, okay, that's fucking badass, and I love that. Just that Oni mask is just so fucking cool, and it works so much for her aesthetic already. But then they revealed it, and it's like, okay, I love her. I love her. I love her character. I adore her. I think she's awesome. She's likable. She's strong. She's kind. She's entertaining. And it's just like, she's shown so much love and respect and admiration from pretty much everyone around her who knows her. And again, they all refer to her properly. And it's like, I had to look it up because I wanted to make sure that this was right, and it was. And that's why I started breaking when I started recording this. I'm keeping it under control at the moment, but I'm still very emotional about it because it's like, this is important. This series, let's be honest, has had some controversy with this, with the Okama, whether you believe it's warranted or not, whether you've had issues with the way the Okama are portrayed or not. Again, I never have because I've never seen them as representative towards trans people at all. But no matter what, they've still been a controversial aspect in the series that's undeniable. And so to see, I don't know if this was done in response to that controversy or if this was done instead just as a choice that Oda wanted to make. The point is, Oda did make this decision. Oda put this character and the one yet to come in this series as an important, strong, likable character, not as a joke, but as a strong character. He put her in this. And she is so beautifully handled, so respectfully handled. And I love her. She may not be necessarily the most beautiful character in this series. She may not even be my favorite or my most liked in this arc. But it is partially because of my own experiences and my own situation that I connect with her. I mean, I'm not as strong and badass and cool as her, but I see in her the kind of strength, kindness, love, and confidence that I would like to have, that I would like to be able to express. She inspires me. And so I wanted to take what's going on like 12 minutes now at the start here talking about this because it's important. It matters. And it's just so fucking awesome. But that being said, let's talk about the rest of these episodes, the rest of the content we had here. So most of these episodes took place at Udon. Like, in contrast to the last sets we've had where it kind of switched between and everything, these episodes were mostly in Udon with only a couple exceptions. And one of which actually still being directly connected to Udon. So Big Mom is chasing around Luffy. He's unable to use the Ryo Haki again. And he's just basically trying to escape and survive at the moment while trying to figure out what he can do. Queen wakes up and lures Big Mom into a trap, which causes her to regain her memories, but she is knocked into a slumbering state. She's chained up with sea prism stone chains and cuffs and everything, loaded onto a boat, and is being taken to Onigashima, where Kaido is. And we see later on that she's woken up. She recognizes who Queen is, but she's still falling back asleep and everything. So yeah, she's not much of a threat right now, but she is being taken to Kaido, which could be a problem for multiple reasons. Because although it's shown that Kaido and her don't really get along and don't really have the same interests in mind, what happens if they do? What happens when when whatever they talk about or whatever goes on there, what happens if they actually come to a consensus and agree to work together? That would be bad. Two of the emperors working together is a terrifying thought. So we're going to kind of have to see where that goes. Right now, that's just kind of like setting up, I guess, for the future, for more to come. We'll just have to see where it goes with that. I'll cover the smaller parts as well. We had a little bit more with Kid and Killer, just more so Kid like trying to get Killer to help him escape and everything, and kind of you could tell being upset and mourning what has happened to Killer with the smile fruit and everything. So yeah, it's like I really want to see where this all goes because again, there's really no way to save him at this point, right? There's no way to turn it back. So Killer's probably going to be like this forever going forward. And you could see how much it hurts Kid. Like they're clearly close. So yeah, we get a little bit of that. We got a little bit of Zoro and Hiyori walking after escaping from the capital. They're being hunted down by a ninja, um, but not really much else is going with that. Zoro's managing to fend the ninja off, but nothing else has come of that yet. That's pretty much just set up, I guess, for more to come or whatever as well. A lot of setup stuff with the small stuff. But let's get back to the big thing. So after Queen leaves with most of the guards and Big Mom, we have the two remaining, well, actually three remaining head guards, counting the monkey lady who she weirds me out, and it's like just she doesn't really do much. um, but we have Babanuki and the scorpion guy whose name I can't think of right now, Daifugu. Yeah, because his name is like really close to one of Big Mom's children. Like, isn't doesn't she have a son named Daifuku or something like that? The one who has the genie. They have very similar names, and that was throwing me off this entire time. It's like, wait. Like pretty much every time they said his name, it's like I think that's the difference. His name is Daifugu, and Big Mom's son is Daifuku. I think that's the difference, but I'd have to look that up to be sure. Um, but yeah, they're just trying to quell the rebellion of the prisoners that's starting to get underway. Um, Kawamatsu the Kappa, one of the Akazaya 7 or Akazaya 9 or whatever, he gets free with help from Raizo, and we get to see him in action. We know of him because he helped take care of Hiyori after her parents' death and her brother being sent into the future. So we know that that's going to be a reunion coming. Um, but we get to see him in action as a swordsman. He's also apparently a Yokozuna level sumo wrestler, and presumably the best in the history of Wano, which is interesting. That's definitely how they were talking about him. But he's finally free and he's helping them out as well. But the remaining head jailers uh, end up bringing out a new weapon that we haven't seen before. The playgrounds contain the virus mummy, which, when shot into someone, infects them with a fast spreading contagious plague that causes them intense burning pain all over their body. It causes blood to just burst out of them at various points on their body. Most notably, we saw it on the face, like coming out of the nose and the mouth and everything. And it causes them to become very, honestly, I was thinking zombie like, but mummy like, I guess, is accurate too. They become very sunken in, very, like, kind of not aggressive, but more so like they're just trying to do whatever they can to find help, and they're just kind of like sulking and stalking around and everything. It's very fucked up, and it's in terms of recent shit going on with the pandemic and everything. It's really really horrific, just time wise, just because of what's been going on in the world this past year. Um, I mean, it's not quite the same thing, but it's just still it's similar enough to invoke that kind of horrific freakiness. Um, the head guards, Babanuki and Daifugu, begin shooting all of the prisoners and infecting them, and they start infecting others. And so Luffy decides to be quite a fucking badass, gathers them all up in his arms, taking the pain of the plague into himself to let them know that he's willing to risk everything to set Wano free. That to help them, he's willing to go through this immense, horrific pain. And that nothing will stop him from achieving his goal of keeping that promise to Otama and setting Wano free. And it's one of Luffy's best moments, without question. It is one of Luffy's best moments because it reminds me of Thriller Bark. The end of Thriller Bark when Zoro took on all of Luffy's pain. When he had Kuma give him all of Luffy's pain. It reminds me of that. It's almost like Luffy is kind of paying it forward with that idea. Zoro took on his pain, and now he's taking on the pain of the people of Udon, and in general, the people of all of Wano. And just like Zoro has pledged to serve and follow Luffy to his dying day, Luffy is pledging to fight for the people of Wano, even if it costs him his life. It is by far one of Luffy's best moments as a character. It shows his growth, but think about what it also means in terms of his overall goal throughout the entire series. Luffy, as we know, his goal is to become the king of the pirates. He is taking on a deadly plague into his body, one that can very easily kill him. And he's just taking it on willingly to show these people that they matter more to him right now. And he does this time and time again in the series. We saw it in Amazon Lily as well, when he put the lives of the Amazonians above his own desires. When he asked Hancock to save them rather than fulfill his own needs in his goal to save Ace. He didn't even hesitate at that point. And he didn't even hesitate here. He gladly took that on. Because that is what he wants to prove to these people. That they matter to him. That he has seen all the horrific injustice, inequality, and just pain that this country has gone through. And he wants to put it right. Not that he feels he needs to, he wants to. That is powerful. That is a hero. Putting the needs of others above himself. Not only putting the needs of others above himself, but putting his own life on the line for others is honestly one of the most heroic things a person can do. And it feels so natural. It feels so natural for Luffy to have reached the point to do something like this. After everything he's seen, everything he's gone through throughout this entire series, it's like Luffy, no question, was going to do that. Again, I said in the reaction, the instant I saw him standing there as they were coming towards him, I instantly knew he was going to do what he did. I instantly knew he was going to touch them, that he was going to take on that plague, and that he was going to let them know that he is fighting for them. And he did it. Because everything has been telling us, everything in this series has been telling us that's who Luffy is. God, I love it. This is why this is my favorite series. This kind of stuff. Luffy's character has been so perfectly crafted by Oda throughout this entire series that you can tell exactly what he's going to do because you know the character so well by this point. It's not because it's predictable or anything. It's not lazy writing. It's actually the opposite. It's genius writing. It's because you know this character that fucking well. And it continues to impress me. Not just the arc, but the show in general. Oda's writing, Oda's creativity. It continues to impress me time and time again. After giving his speech, though, as everyone starts to turn in their favor, Babanuki plans one last Hail Mary. He takes a giant shell of 200 rounds worth of the mummy virus, of the mummy plague, and gets ready to launch it out of his elephant smile trunk thing. Launching this into the crowd would infect everyone there. And with 200 rounds worth of the plague in it, it would be a kill shot to everyone there. Without hesitation, after seeing that this is about to happen, Luffy bolts towards Babanuki, ties up the trunk, and lets that 200 round bomb basically explode inside of Babanuki. He's fucking dead. I don't give a shit what you think. Like, if he somehow survives this, that honestly, that is kind of bullshit. 200 rounds worth of that plague, he should be fucking dead. Like, deader than dead. That is a, because he's one person taking on the full force of that in his body. It didn't hit him from outside, it hit him inside. And we know that with the smile fruit users who have these animal-like heads on their stomachs and all, like with Hold'em, they share one body. They are one being still. So it's like we know that affected not just the elephant, but all of Babanuki. That is fucking hardcore of Luffy to have done. Like, Oda said that Luffy's not necessarily above killing, he just doesn't choose to do it. That he's not against the idea of killing opponents if necessary. I think he just killed this dude. I think he's fucking dead. If he shows up, if he shows up again, if he shows up alive again, not counting like just right away where he's still like infected and dying, they better have a damn good reason. And honestly, if Chopper ends up healing him, like I assume Chopper's going to be the one to heal Luffy and all the other prisoners. If he ends up healing him too, it's going to be like, Chopper, you're too good of a person. He doesn't deserve that. But still, with 200 rounds worth of the plague, I don't see how he could survive long enough. I do not see that. But anyways, in the end, the three members of the Akazaya 9 that are there, Luffy and his other allies, they free Udon. Udon has been officially liberated. So yeah, that kind of closes out, at least for the most part, this big plot section of the story. And there's still like just under 10 episodes to go, like 7 episodes ago, 6, 7 episodes to go, something like that. Um, don't ask me to math right now. Um, for this act, but nonetheless, that was definitely the big climactic finish to that story point, that plot point. Because that's been the thing. That's been one of the big things this entire arc, or this entire act rather. Because at the end of Act One is when Luffy was arrested and thrown into the prison, and now throughout this entire act so far, Act Two of Wano, he's been trying to survive in the prison and then eventually escape. And it's like this prison has been one of the massive plot points and one of the massive sets for this arc to take, or for this act to take place in. So yeah, that means what we've got next has got to be not only just the closure of the arc, but for the rest, or the closure of the act. I keep saying arc, I keep mixing them up. Not only just the closure of Act Two, but I think we're going to have one more big thing happen, and that's going to be Big Mom and Kaido coming face to face. I think that Act Two is going to end with that and the closure of everything else kind of just coming together from where we left it all off on. That's my prediction. I might be proven wrong, and honestly, I won't mind as long as it's still good. After Act One was so damn good, I went into Act Two unsure if it could live up to Act One. It definitely did, but it's also very different. Acts One and Two, while continuing the same storyline, have done different things, and it feels natural. It feels like it's still part of the same plot, still part of the same continuity and everything. But the focuses have been different. The way they've went about things have been different. And I respect that. It makes the acts feel both connected to each other and separate enough to make them feel unique and interesting and like their own separate, in a way, mini arcs. It's like this arc of Wano is being comprised of multiple miniature arcs all in their own. It almost kind of feels like that. And that's an interesting idea, to structure it like this, to structure Wano in the style of an old Kabuki play with the multi-act structure. So I'm really excited to see where they continue to go with this. So tell me in the comments below, what did you think of these 4 episodes of One Piece? What did you think of Kikunojo, of the Fallen Snow? That big reveal. What did you think of the Mummy Plague? And Big Mom's rampage being stopped? Tell me your thoughts on all of this and more down in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.